Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here and welcome to another video. So in this one we're going to take a look at more fights trying to exploit the potential of Zatanna's puppet. And a lot of you were, I mean not a lot of you, but some of you were not agreeing with the criticism I had with the artifact, so I'm going to repeat myself. I don't like that the artifact doesn't really function that well from low levels, and it's not gonna work on every single character but requires specific conditions. That being said, it is a good artifact, and it's gonna be a better artifact the more levels you're gonna get to it, and it's gonna take some specific themes to make the best out of it, but it's gonna be a good artifact overall. We'll see how good it is as we see it at higher level. I've seen some higher level gameplay of it and it's pretty good. It's not even that high level, it's like from like level 3 or level 4 you're gonna get so much better results out of it. We still have a level 1 here. And this was just a cleanup fight, but this was kind of to showcase, though this will not be the most relatable thing. If I use Beta Club on my combo builder, I'm gonna get 2 debuffs, and I'm using it for the debuffs, not the dot, and that will help out. If you don't have the Beta Club, you can use the God Killer instead, and that will give you 1 debuff. Though that's not a reliable thing to use anyway, because as we get more Soul Raid artifacts, all these slots are going to be occupied by the Soul Raid artifacts to get that passive attack. Now this team over here, it's gonna be not that strong. Like look, this is not gonna deal millions, billions of damage, but it's gonna be a very fun team to use nevertheless. So Zatanna is not gonna be able to tap into the power of Zatanna's puppet herself, because she doesn't put negative effects on the enemy, she puts debuffs. Anything that's going to be on a timer is going to count as a negative effect and builds towards the Zatanna puppet stacks. So the only things that Zatanna can do to increase that herself is the burn on the third special and the effects from the Zatanna's puppets itself. And at higher level it should be no problem, like she should be able to tap into this easily, but at lower levels she will not be able to do that unless we use Silver Banshee, of course, because Silver Banshee is going to give all the arcane characters, after you have used the special 2, a chance, a 90% chance to disable an enemy special on their special 2 or special 3. And even with that, you can see that we're losing all the power randomly, but still this is gonna be a very fun team to use, and it's going to just pretty much keep the buff on Zatanna at almost all times, though still not the most reliable thing, because even though I'm spamming specials and I have the Silver Banshee disabled, it's still not gonna be up at all times and it's gonna randomly drop, but this is a fun team to use, not gonna lie. Though, as I said, this will not deal huge amounts of damage, this is more like for entertainment purposes, but still good. Still pretty decent. Now, a team that heavily benefits from this is gonna be the Batman Ninja team. For them, it's not necessarily about the debuffs they can inflict, though those will help out a lot from the Zatanna puppets itself, but it's about the damage it gives the Batman Ninja team, because they're going to instantly get to max stacks, because if you have Batman Chakorla Growth, he's going to allow your Batman Ninja teammates to apply defense and damage reduction. Now, every single stack of defense and damage reduction is going to be a negative effect, and it's going to count separately, so you're literally never gonna run out of this, and it's mainly gonna be for the damage. You don't need the infinite power from it, you don't really need the negative effects from it, except for the increased damage against target, though I haven't really seen that one much, but it's gonna give them a lot of damage. Again, this requires further testing. By the way, we got something here, but I have seen some gameplay of people using that in league raids, and it's gonna be like with the level 1, Zatanna's puppet is gonna be like 40 to 50 mil against Horrific Scarecrow in league rates, and that's quite decent actually. That's pretty damn decent. I have Brainiac in here with Mr. Freeze. This is not like the final team, and I'm not gonna go full stacks with Brainiac. I just wanna see how it goes with Mr. Freeze, because Mr. Freeze himself is gonna inflict some debuffs on the enemy. It's gonna do some dot damage debuff on the enemy, and also it's gonna do the freezing effect that turns into a full freeze, and also gonna do the thing that lowers their power generation. I don't think the dot damage that Mr. Freeze is able to inflict really counts, because it doesn't really look like a timed debuff, and if that counted it will be no question up at all times. So he's got 2 debuffs that he can apply himself. Now, of course, at higher level of this, we can count on that to apply the necessary debuffs, but we don't have it at high level, so we're gonna drop a Vixen in there to reduce the armor of the enemy, and we also have Beta Club on Vixen for the debuff, not the damage. Again, God Killer would do a very similar thing. Okay, we got maximum power, we're gonna get her frozen, and you can kind of do an infinite combo with Mr. Freeze. And I don't know how much damage this will do with higher level passive artifacts, but so far it looks pretty decent. It doesn't look anything amazing, but it looks pretty decent. So maybe as we have this at higher level, you are going to have finally a reliable way to use Mr. Freeze for the free-to-play people who don't have Beta Club. And yeah, I kind of messed up on still learning this combo, but you can infinite combo her with Mr. Freeze. Using Brainiac to apply one further debuff. By the way, the buffs from this, at the very least the infinite power, is going to apply to all the teammates. All the teammates are going to get that, so that opens up yet again at higher level the possibility of using this on a combo builder and then putting our artifact on the damage dealer. Because at level 1 is not reliable, you're not gonna get there without a specific setup, and if you have a specific setup for the combo builder, then boy, your damage dealer is not gonna have much to work with. But yeah, we can infinitely freeze her here, as you can see, and you just do this with Mr. Freeze. Again, I have only a level 1 Hand of Zatanna, so there's barely any soul rate passive stats going into that Mr. Freeze, so it's very hard for me to tell how good this actually is in terms of raw damage. And this, by the way, a 3-star Mr. Freeze, so it can definitely get better than this. I do have Beta Club, so it's not a problem for me. I'm just gonna use that on Mr. Freeze if I want to, but it's gonna be interesting because this character has been an absolute dogshit character for the free-to-play players, and this might bring him back from his grave. But yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Definitely the combo is nice. We can only wait and see about the damage. Here we have a flash fight. I have Hand of Zatanna on EPI, but that's never gonna trigger. Let's be real here. But yeah, Boss Flash is gonna have that Chaos Tag in, and at the very least at this amount of health, because he's not the most healthy boy right now in Heroic 1, the League of Rank is gonna be just enough to deal with him. And on higher heroics you can add Raven in the mix with those two. I know he's gonna be Chaos tagging with 3 characters, but you just need to get a bit lucky and you're gonna one-shot him. But for now, EPI plus Heartbreak Harley Quinn is gonna be fine. And by the way, Raven EPI Harley, I have managed to do that against Boss Atrocitus with his Chaos tagging and his dot specials and tornadoes. If that worked against him, it'll definitely work against Flash. But yeah, for now, League of Rank will just do enough. It's just a bit inconvenient, that's all. And he's a low tier sub boss, so until high heroics he'll be low on health, and even in high heroics he shouldn't have that much attack at the very least. And now for this team, I wanted to try and see the Hand of Zatanna as a support item, because we have Raven here as the support character, because she's going to naturally stack darkness for Kinflant Psychoman. I mean, she doesn't need to. Like, we fighting Multiverse Supergirl Heroic 1. King could have done this alone without Raven, so that's why we're not gonna focus on King on this one. We're going to eventually tag him to kill the fight, but right now we're going to try and see with the level 1 Zatanna's puppets and nothing else to set it up except for Raven's special 1 debuff, which is already more than most characters can do in terms of, excuse me, negative effects. We're going to see if we're ever going to be able to stack it to full. Okay, so we have 4 negative effects right now. And I got hit there, my bad. Our special ones, still 4 of them. We have 50% chance to apply one, which is not great. Another one, we got 4 of them. None of them. Come on. There we go, we finally got 5 of them. And as we lose the stacks here, we're going to... Now we applied another one last second. But yeah, we're in constant danger of losing all the power that we have, because the effects are just gonna expire on us. And that sucks. And also, I have never seen the increased damage against targets thing. Or maybe it's the cut attack thing, but I feel like a debuff might be missing, correct me if I'm wrong, because it says it's gonna give you more damage against the targets. I don't see any symbols that would indicate that. The weird symbol you see now in the middle is gonna be not allowing the enemy to tag out, which is obviously not gonna do much in raids. But yeah, King in there for 3rd special. I convinced myself at this point that this is not gonna work, but yeah, thanks so much for watching. Like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and goodbye!